Well, my friends, what is it? What would you describe this as? Would you describe this as an SUV, a crossover, a wagon, a hatchback? So it's not an SUV. It has 7 inches of ground clearance. It could be called a crossover because it's a crossover between a car and an SUV. But again, it's not all-wheel drive. To my mind, it's definitely a wagon or a sportback or a sport wagon, whatever you want to call it. But regardless, this is a very practical vehicle, but it's not an SUV. There are no drive modes. There are no snow modes, sand modes. There are no drive modes. It is simply drive, reverse, and you can adjust your gears. It's old school. It's simple. It's honest, and it's plain. But I didn't get my first all-wheel drive vehicle. Well, no, I had a four-wheel drive. I was driving 7 years before I had something with four-wheel drive. So for 7 years, I drove actually mostly rear-wheel drive cars with just, snow tires in New York winters. Back when New York winters, I remember them being much worse, honestly. But so I'm talking about a Pontiac Tempest with half-bald tires I could get through the snow. My Chevy Monza, I put on studded snows. My Pinto, my Crown Victoria, my S10 SS. I got some Blizzaks. But those were rear-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive, I've had a Honda Accord, I've had a Mazda 3, I've had a Ford Festiva, I've had a Taurus SHO. So, this would be comparable to most front-wheel drive cars. It has traction control, and it's got electronic braking assist. So, anti-lock brakes and so forth. You have to remember, in bad weather, the most important things are your tires. You should have 4 good matched tires. And if they're not all the best, then your best tires go on your front. Regardless of drive, your best tires go on front. Why is that? Braking and steering. Anything can get going eventually in snow, if you're careful. But it's a matter of getting steering and stopping. I've been in more snow situations where I've had to worry about I turn the wheel and the car doesn't turn because there's slush or ice. So I think that this Trax will get through 99% of what I'm going to throw at it, which is just a mild New York winter. If it gets that bad, like most people, I'm going to stay home. This is not an emergency vehicle. Now, that being said, sporty. Is it sporty? Hell yeah. I don't care that it's not fast. It's sporty. You feel it. It's a fun car to drive. Frugal. Yeah, you know what? It's pretty damn frugal. So, stated, from the factory, it says that it's rated at 28 city, 32 highway, and 30 combined. I'm averaging 29.9 combined. And I do a lot of hills, and I drive quite fast. So I consider that a win. So I'm averaging basically 30 miles per gallon, exactly factory, but I've gotten 38 on long holiday, weekend driving where it's 55 with the cruise control. So it is frugal. It will swallow up a ton of luggage and groceries and stuff. It's a great all-around car. Now, as far as some of the tech stuff, the tire pressure monitoring system seems to have calmed down. Now, I have to go back for another service in about a month. I'll just ask them to check that. The glitching of the infotainment system. So the infotainment system is very slow to respond to touches. It seems to be actually getting worse. I've gotten comments and other people told me that, hey, there's a service, when you go in for your service, they can do an update of the firmware or something, or update to the software, and hopefully that'll take care of it. It's not that bad. It's annoying. It's not, I get my Google Maps and my YouTube Music, and I get around with no problem, and You know, really, honestly, August 10th to now. So I mean, what is this? August, September, October. Uh, More than 2 months of owning it. 3,500 miles, I think. This thing's great. We'll see how it is in the winter. And I've got a long Cape Cod road trip coming up. It should be 5 or 6 hours each way. So I'll get an idea of how it is. I mean, driving for an hour or two, not a problem. 5, 6 hours, I think that's when these seats may need a little help, and I have a seat cushion. But, you know, how many cars can you drive 5, 6 hours without a break, you know? So that's the latest update on my 2024 Chevy Trax. I posted a couple of photos to Instagram, and I think here, of this at night. This crimson red is just awesome. The light catches it in the shade, in the full sun, at night. I love it. So, hope you guys enjoy this. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.